Hey, friends, it's fantastic to see you again. Some of you will see this only later, but it's great to have you with us. So we are recording this as well so that some of you can view this at a later stage. If we have a slight echo in a minute, we will just stop that so that it doesn't disturb you while we are busy. Yesterday, I thought that I would gain weight. Some of you that was fortunate enough to watch us yesterday, or those of you who've done the replay of yesterday already, will know that I cheated yesterday. We had this huge amount of chips, and then not only the chips, but we also had some fish, and I had some other chips before that, and I didn't tell that yesterday, but I had about half a jar of peanut butter as well. Now that's normally for me, it's not allowed. So I was fortunate enough to lose a bit of kilos over the past day. And I didn't exercise much yesterday. I walked a bit, which is totally different to today. Today, I'm going to talk a bit about the exercise because tonight, or if you watch it during the daytime, today and this session, we're going to talk about having fun, having friends around, and not only that, fun of friends, but also about your fitness. And once we've gone past that, I want to share with you something very, very special that will be very valuable for some of you, but for others, it won't be. So if that's valuable to you, that's fantastic. It might be valuable to you, or it might be valuable to somebody else then as well. I've got a glass of water with me, and the reason why I've got this with me is because I did a 10-kilometer run, late afternoon, early evening, which was a fantastic run. But my running partner pushed me a bit. He told me afterwards that I was pushing him. So the two of us were pushing each other and didn't want to, I just sort of tried to keep up, and he didn't want to show to me that he was in fact tired. So we pushed a lot. It was a gentle run, a gentle incline, and then turning back, and then it was downhill, and then a gentle incline at the end. No, actually a steep incline at the end. For him. For me, it was a downhill the last 2 k's to my house. But one of the secrets, one of the vital secrets for you to manage your weight is friends. Friends and fitness. And fun. So what we want to do is you need friends around you to support you, whatever you want to do in terms of your body. And I'm talking about, and I'll talk about this later, I'm talking about your body of abundance. You want to be able to do things with your body that at the moment you can't do because it's not strong enough or because you might be unhealthy at this stage and you want to change that. So we want you to get to a body of abundance, but a bit more later about that. So friends, I find this, that if I need to go and run on my own, and especially if the weather's a bit cold, today was a bit better, but late evening it was cold still. But if you have an appointment, if I have an appointment to meet somebody to go for a run or a walk, then I keep the appointment. It's as easy as that. If you make the commitment and you go, then it's totally different. If you're on your own and, then you can still think, oh, I'm not sure if I want to go for this run. I don't think I need it. And the body or the mind will just give like a trillion excuses for the body to not go. But if you have made an appointment, if you have a commitment to go, then it's totally different. So you need friends to support you, friends to go on a run with you or to walk with you. That is vital. That's one of the things. But not only that, you need friends to support you. This is one very, very important thing that I want to share with you as well. In many cases, you think that you need to go and ask permission from your special friend. Now, by special friend, I'm referring to, somebody that's very close to you, which could be a spouse, a partner, it could be a mother or a father, it could be a daughter or a son. But you don't actually need permission. You want support. So if you are going on a 6-month program or experiment to get to the best body that you can get to, then you'll communicate that to them and say, listen, I'm sharing this with you because I want your support. So you don't ask them permission, you ask their support to go and do that. And good friends, and especially those that love you, they want to have the best for you. And normally, if they think you're going to try some crazy weight loss stuff, then they'll say to you, don't do this or don't do that. And they do that out of love and sometimes out of ignorance as well. But you say, listen, I'm going on this program and I need your support and I want your support for this. So friends, it's vital. We find that if you have friends going through the same experience that you're going through, or those that have been on the road a little bit longer and they've gone through experiences like this in the past, then it's fantastic to have them around. It's fantastic to have somebody around who's done a 4-day fast or a 10-day fast or a 21-day fast if you want to attempt it for the first time, so that you can draw from their experience and also from the energy. So you need friends. You need friends to support you, friends close to you, and then also another bunch of friends to just support you and to where you can ask questions, and almost any question, and where you can say to them, listen, I feel just like just packing it up and not continuing with this anymore. And those are the friends that you want to be able to share that with, so that they can say, listen, tomorrow's another day, let's go for it. Or whatever they say, but they can stick with you and help you to go through bad patches, because you will get bad patches where you'll think, it's not worthwhile. Nothing is happening. Nothing is changing. And you need to go through those tough patches and bad patches as well. So friends you need, and then you need fun. Life is, let me not put it that way. Life could be extremely serious. So you could look at all these rules and regulations and follow that and try to follow that. By doing that, your life could really become miserable. But if there's fun, if you say, this is the guidelines, this is the experiment I'm busy with, I'm only drinking water, for instance, for the next 2 days, and mind you, mustn't only drink water, you must add something to the water. There is something in my water at the moment, which is fantastic for me. I'm drinking water for 2 days, and I'm then not going to eat for the next 2 days or 3 days, but I'm going to drink coffee or tea or special green tea, things like that. But that is the way to tackle this, that you say it's an experiment. And then if it happens like I did last night, to eat chips and fish, which I shouldn't have done normally, but I did it. That's a fun thing, and it happened, and that's it. And I'm continuing now again with the rest of my focus. So sometimes you'll fall off the horse, so to speak, and you need to, or fall off the wagon, but you need to get back on immediately and not wait, and not give that as an excuse. So you need friends, one of the next secret, the critical secret, but you also need to have fun. And then you also need fitness. I referred to fitness now twice in the last couple of days, maybe more than twice, but I referred to 2 runs, a longer run that I did earlier in the week, or towards the start of this challenge, and then the run I did tonight. Running is a fantastic way to help keep your body under control. But often if you start off and your body is too heavy, then you'll have, and you start with running, you'll have problems, or you could have problems with your knees, your hips, your ankles. There are a number of places where you could have a problem because the body is not used to carry that weight. And especially when you run, there's a huge force when every time when you put your foot down in the running, there's an incredible force on that foot. And I'm not going to go into the scientific details of that, but just to say it's an incredible force that comes down on the foot. So ideally, you want to start off with walking. If you are quite a bit overweight, then it will be short distances of walking to start with, to make the body used to what you're doing now. And it could be something like, 3 or 4 minutes of walking away from your place of work or from your house and back, and then gradually extending that. But that is, how your fitness could start. It's not going to stop there. The fitness later on will be that you walk 4 minutes fast, for instance. Later on, it will be that you run for 1 minute and walk 4 minutes. And later, 2 minutes running and walking 4 minutes. And later you'll get to a situation where it's the other way around, where you run for 4 minutes and maybe walk for 1 minute, and later on 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, and so forth, so that you can run longer distances. When I lost weight, initially my weight came down from about 115 kgs to, at that stage, 87, 88. And I only started running then. Prior to that, I didn't do much of running. I played tennis, and suddenly I was too fast on the court for the ball because my body was so slow. I was playing doubles. I love tennis. Played doubles because I was too slow to get to the ball. Now suddenly I was there before the ball was. Now, in terms of how slow I was previously. So the important thing is that you work on your fitness. In my case, because of the weight that I lost when I started running, the body was relieved because it realized that, phew, I'm not carrying that first 15, 20 Ks, and then later 26 Ks and almost 30 Ks. So I'm around about there at the moment, 28, 29, 30 Ks down from my original weight that I was. So my body was fine because it was used to this big bloke that it had to carry around. But you want to start slowly with your exercise, and you want to build into that. Now, you could do a lot of damage if you do the wrong exercises or if you do exercises the wrong way. But it's fairly safe to walk. You must just get a safe place to walk, and you must get a partner to walk with you, or you must take your dog with you, and that you feel that you are a bit safer. And you need something like a pepper spray with you as well when you walk. The exercise that you could do is wall-ups. That's essentially a push-up against the wall. So you stand away a little bit from the wall and you push with your hands, and you get closer and you get back and you push yourself away. And later on, you go back, you get to the floor with your knees on the floor, you do your push-ups there, and later on you lift your knees as well. So that's a progression as well. Kettlebell swings is a fantastic exercise, but for that you need a kettlebell. If you don't have a kettlebell, that's fine. You could just do squats and lunges. Now, you could Google squats and lunges. I'll also put some pictures up, but you could Google that so that you can see a video to do that correctly, because the position of your knee is very important. If the knee is forward too much, you could actually hurt it when you go down. Fantastic exercises to become stronger in the legs. Then I remember, this is many years ago because our son, our firstborn, is 35 now already. But remember when I was young and I wanted to lift him up with my arm when I was in the car, and I couldn't do that properly. He was a heavy youngster, and I was not strong enough. And I did go to the gym. I worked a bit with the machines, because you can do it machines. You don't need machines, but I did it with the machines. Got quite a bit stronger, so I could easily lift him and work with him without hurting my shoulder. And you'd find that as you grow older, that the shoulders are a bit more brittle is not the correct word, because brittle would mean that the bones would go, but the shoulders could be more sensitive. So you could easily hurt or strain something here if it's not strong enough. So those are exercises that you want to do. Push-ups will help for that. And also pull-ups, kettlebell swings, if you can get that, will be fantastic. A lady kettlebell weight will probably be maximum 12 kgs, maybe 9 kgs, 10 kgs, up to 12 kgs. The men could go 12 kgs or a bit heavier than 12 kgs in a kettlebell. Vital to stretch as well. So that fitness would, and those fitness and those exercises would help you to become stronger, to have a fantastic, strong body, because that's what you want. You don't necessarily want to enter a competition, but you want to be able to lift up your arm and not have some fat floating around or moving around over here. So those are things that you want to do on the fitness side. But that's enough on the fitness side. I want to just share with you, now that I've covered our secrets for tonight, and I've actually covered 3 secrets for tonight. And probably, I think the vital secret here is friends. So the first night we covered, if you remember correctly, we covered fasting. So which means that certain times you mustn't eat. Then the second night we talked about feasting, or in other words, or in other terms, your cheat day, what you do, when you can cheat and when you can't, or when you shouldn't cheat. Then can you remember what we did the third night, which was last night? Anybody? Fasting, then feasting, and then we talked about fats. What you could eat in terms of fats, and the importance of fats, especially the fats containing omega-3s. And we talked about the fish, and things like salmon, tuna, anchovy, and also sardines. Sardines, from a budget point of view, is probably a good thing to look at, and you can make a nice fish or a nice great dish using sardines, or mostly sardines in that. We also talked about eggs. Just remember eggs, that one egg would contain about 6 grams, 5 grams, 6 grams of fat, and about 7 grams, 6 or 7 grams of protein, depending on the size of the egg. But that's a whole egg, so that's the white and the yellow of the egg. And you want to build your fats up. The amount of fats that you eat, do 50, 60, or even 70% of your calories coming from there, which is totally opposite from what people normally recommend. Remember that a normal recommendation is around 50% or 60% from carbs. Now, if you eat that amount of carbs, you cannot go into keto, which we covered, because you get too many carbs. The percentage is just too high of carbs. And also, if you eat that much in terms of carbs, you might struggle to lose weight, depending on how you structure your day or your days. So ideally, we say take a 16-hour fast every day. Some weeks you'll do a 72-hour fast, but normally take a 16-hour fast. Start with 12 hours and then build it up to 16 hours. And then eat in that period when you're allowed to eat, the so-called window of eating. Then you eat mostly fats and proteins and a little bit of carbs, as low as is possible. We talked about companies providing you with these protein shakes. And I suggested there that you use that, but you add things to the shake or your smoothies, and it could be something like chia seeds, where you have with a 3/4 cup, you have about 18 grams of fat. So those are things that you've got to fine tune for you in terms of what you're going to eat. But now that's what we covered. So tonight we talked about the biggest secret, the fourth secret, which I would say would be friends. You need friends, you need support. Your close friends, they might have questions and they might say to you, you're mad, you shouldn't do that. So it's vital to look at your close friends and to say, listen, I don't want your approval, I just need your support. And then to get to a group of like-minded people who are struggling with you, or who did struggle in the past as well, along the route that you are tackling now, that they can give you advice and that you can ask them, that you can say to them, listen, I'm fasting and I feel like there's something in my stomach and I think I need to drink water or something else. No, that's what I did. I was busy with my first fast in a very long time. And I think it was sort of the first afternoon. I started the previous evening. And the first afternoon, I think early afternoon, I phoned or I sent a WhatsApp. I can't remember which was it. But to my friend who suggested to me that I should go onto the fast. And he said to me, I described to him how my stomach would feel, and normally I would drink something. I drink a lot of water or whatever, just to let the body flush it out. And he said to me the following: "Don't worry, just wait. Give the body a chance to get rid of it." I didn't respond to that, but I was thinking, this guy is bonkers. I mean, why do I need to wait? I've got to put something inside to fight it, what is inside. And I was amazed. I think it was 30 minutes, maybe 40, 45 minutes, and it was gone. That acidic feeling that it was in my stomach that I didn't want there. I wanted it to disappear. And I wanted it to be gone almost immediately, that it disappeared. So I couldn't understand that, but I didn't have that experience. So the same thing would happen to you. You may experience something like I did, and you may say, I can't stay without food. I need something to just neutralize what's happening inside the body, and that's not true. Your body and my body has been so wonderfully put together that it will balance itself out in most cases. And that's an incredible thing that I had to learn, to say, wait, give the body a chance. And when you experience it, it's not good. It's awful. But I learned to wait. And once I understood that and experienced that was it. That was fantastic for me. So there wasn't a problem for me in terms of that anymore. So I think tonight I want to just share with you something that is going to happen with some people, for some people, which is fantastic. And I just want to share my screen to be able to show you that. Okay, right. Let me just see if it makes sure that it's on screen. Okay, all right, there it is. I'm going to invite you, and I'll explain to you who this is for, but I'm going to invite you to my Body Abundance Program, or then Your Body Abundance Program. And it's a 6-month program. So it's not for, and I'll tell you a bit more about who it's not for, but it's not for somebody that would want to results in 6 days or 10 days or so. It's for somebody that wants to get a new body, so to speak, without the operation. And yes, we don't do the face as well, but the face will change in the process. but it's our body abundance program. I'm very excited about this and about what we do in there. Now, the aim of this is the abundant body, and it's a 6-month program. It's got quite a bit of one-on-one consultations in the process. We have weekly small group interaction. Then we've got a special small group forum where you'll be invited onto, where you can talk and can ask questions and shoot a video if you want to shoot a video of yourself, and just tell people what you're doing and what you're experiencing. Ask any question related to what we're busy with. You also get a written report. So after our one-on-one consultation, and many of these, probably most of these consultations in the next short period will be with me and not with somebody else. But after that one-on-one consultation, we'll do a written report, and we'll update the written report over time. But the written report will say things like, this is who you are, this is what you experienced, this is what your aim is, this is what you've done in the past already, and this is what you want to achieve. So that you have something that you can go back to and say, this is what I said, and this is what was noted. Because sometimes, you know, you say something and you want to do something, but you forget, especially when it's tough. Then you say, no, I don't want to do that. But if it's written there, you can go back and you can, with somebody else, reread this and say, okay, that's what I was experiencing at that stage, and that's what I want to do and want to get done. Then we need to find the right path for you, your path, not my path, but your path. Let me just give you the example. I live in a place where in the street running close to our house, there are many stop streets. So if you drive down that street, you drive and you stop, you drive and you stop, you drive and you stop. If you go 2 streets lower than that, you can have a fairly free ride. You have some traffic lights from time to time, but it's a fairly free ride. If you take another 5 or 6 avenues up from my house, then you'll have a free ride for a bit, and then a turn and another turn, many robots there as well, but more traffic. So the same is when you are building your abundant body. There are different paths for different people. We may teach you to fast, and you may be fantastic with that. You could fast easily for 72 hours. I could teach somebody else to fast, and they battle to get to their 12 hours. So which path is best, and which path is the best path? The answer to that is the path that works for you and that you can stay on. If it's a path of a number of stop street, but you can stay on that path, then that's the one that you need to go on. You don't want to take this direction and then say, okay, now maybe I should have taken that one, then maybe I should have taken that one, because then in the end, you are confused. So we want you to find the right path for you, your path. And then once we have that path, we want you to stick with that path. So you need to internalize that path. And we will guide you to get there, and we will give you the feedback to make sure that you stay on that path, that you get on that path, first of all, and to stay on that path. Let me just use an example, and I'm not saying we're going to do that, but let's say your path is an egg diet. Now, I'm not saying that you should do an egg diet, but if you say your path is an egg diet, then we'll help you to get on the egg diet or the egg nutrition. We will check what are the possible pitfalls and dangers with that, and we'll make sure that you stay on that path. And if some of the dangers or pitfalls will occur, then we'll assist you to get that fixed. But you will probably need to know all the different type of egg recipes there are. You would need to know if you have a protein shake, can you add eggs onto there? What will it do to your protein shake? just from the amount of fats that it will generate. You need to know about if you sprinkle some chia seeds on your eggs, or if you do scrambled eggs with chia seeds or whatever. You need to know all of those details for your path. And then you need to do. To know and to not do is not to know. So you can only say that I know when you do what you know. So that is the process of internalizing. That is that is the most important thing in all of this. You need to internalize. So you need to find the aim for you. And often the aim, the path, you need to find the right path for you. Often your aim is the abundant body, but to get to the abundant body, you need to get on the right path. But to get on the right path, you need to often change your thinking, because your thinking is not 100%. So if you want to get on the path and stay on the path, you should change the thinking. And let me give you an example. If you think this is never going to work for me, so just think about that for a second. If you think subconsciously this is never going to work for me, and the reason why you think like this is you've tried 5 different things, and in the end it didn't work. You gained more weight than you lost. So what is in your mind is this is not going to work for me. So this may have such a huge impact that you cannot internalize the right path, even if you know the right path. So we also need to look at what you're thinking. And there's a way that we do that with the exercise, so that what you think comes out, and that we can assist you, that you can reprogram and change what you're thinking so that you can get different results. Because if you are on this road and you think this way, but you're going that way, you can't get where you want to be. You have to align your thinking with where you're going. Then we've got a weekly progress report. We've got questions and answers, with questions and answers that you can say, this is where I am, and you can respond then to that. And at the end, we have a celebration. Now, we won't necessarily eat, but we could eat. Maybe you could eat fish and chips like I did last night, and still not gain weight, or gain a limited amount of weight. So the aim is an abundant body. So who is this for? It is not for somebody that's a typical do-it-yourselfer. If you do things yourself, and you can Google, and we'll provide enough information through our sessions here with that you can look at now, or even can re-look at later. There's enough information here. You can do everything yourself. You don't need to spend time, first of all, with other people to assist you. You don't need to spend money or invest money to be able to do this better or easier. So if you are a typical do-it-yourself, and you will know yourself, then this is not for you. Then, don't consider this. Take note of what it is in terms of the value, but it probably then isn't for you, and then you shouldn't do it. And that's my recommendation. My recommendation is find a way, find your path, and you can do that through the internet, and you can test certain things. It might take longer than people who work in a team or work with a coach, but you'll get there. You'll make a few other mistakes, but that doesn't really matter. You'll get there. The second type of person who shouldn't do this is a person that's a typical do-it-yourselfer, but a person that would like to stay in touch with a group. So he wants to do it on his own, but he wants just the comfort, in a sense, of a group. And we'll talk about that right at the end of our challenge in one of the bonus sessions, because yes, we'll have some bonus sessions. So for that person, there's a special group that they could look at. So if you're typical do-it-yourselfer, don't go for this. If you do it yourself, but you want to support from a group, there's another solution for you. And if you just want to lose 1 or 2 kgs, then it doesn't, you don't have to go through your for this particular 6 months abundant body program. There are other abundant body programs which is different, but not this one. But yes, this is for you if you want assistance so that someone will do it with you. If you need assistance so that somebody will do it with you, so that you can almost immediately get answers, you grow faster and you go faster than somebody who is a typical do-it-yourself, because they've got to test things and see this is working, this is not working, and they also need to get information first, and they need to Google a lot and read a lot. But if you want the pathway set out for you so that you can say, okay, let me go this road and see if this works for me. And after a day or two, you say, or 3, you say, no, this is not for me, I need something else. And also, if you want individual attention, so if you want individual attention, and I will do most of the individual attention in the beginning, and later on some of my colleagues will assist you. But that is then for you if you want individual attention, and if you want small group support, if you want that type of environment. Not, where you get a few ideas or notes, but really small group attention, which means a small group call and also a small group forum where you can post what you want to know and comment on other people's actions and frustrations and victories. So just to unpack it a little bit, it is for 6 months. There are one-on-one consultations. It's normally 40 minutes, around 40 minutes consultations. There's an initial one, and then a weekly consultation, individual consultation for 5 weeks running. So after, and I'm just going to note the other 5 for you. It will not necessarily be in the same order, because it depends on what comes out of your initial report and initial interview. There'll be exercise set up where, if it's possible, we'll meet and go through certain things that you can do on your own or at the gym. And we'll meet at a gym environment. If you're too far away from us, we'll do that on one of the social media channels or through Zoom. We'll also do a kitchen and a pantry audit. So, if I've got peanut butter in the house and I'm actually focusing on losing a bit of weight or gaining a bit of weight or muscle, if there's peanut butter around, then normally that's not good for me, because I know where it is and I love it, and it sometimes can do the wrong thing to my body. Peanut butter is my trigger food, and we talk about trigger foods as well in the process. So that's the trigger food is normally something that you start eating and you don't stop. You just finish it. Then we also do a family and friends, not audit on them, but a meal audit. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have a custom to, on Saturdays, go to one of your good friends or a family member, and you have a meal together. And the meal is normally packed in or presented in a certain way. So then the question is, what can you do? Because you can't say to people, listen, I'm not going to eat. Well, you could say that. Some people do that, but it's a bit unsociable. So your Saturday must either be your cheat day, or you must know what to eat in that meal when you're together. But for that, you must consciously think about it and do so, almost an audit before that. We also need to do your social circuits, circles, not circuits, your social circles audit. So that is, if you belong to a church or a mosque or any, for that matter, religious grouping, where you do certain charity work, or you do some causes together, and or anything else that you're highly passionate about and that you participate in. I remember a couple of years ago, I was going to a place not too far from my home, but 30 kilometers away. There was a huge fire there, and it destroyed a number of houses in the area. It's an informal, almost like informal settlement type of situation. And I got there the evening, and we prepared some soup and stuff to take it along. And at that stage, when I got there, some of our friends from our Muslim community was there already, and they had, pots and whatever with food, and they had bread. So, I think with all this bread around, if you were one of those helpers and you got hungry, you would actually plunge into the bread. And I know that happens at your social circles, in your social circles where you work together with other people for a charity or a cause or whatever, that you're there together, and then there's something to reward you for your work, and it might be something extremely sweet and extremely nice, but very bad for you. So that's why we do that audit as well, so that this is what I do and will do when I'm in that situation. Because the reflex almost is when people or somebody would offer you something, is to say yes, thank you, and to eat it or drink it. And it doesn't have to be that way. You should be prepared for that. And then we also do a thought life audit. Well, actually, you do the thought life audit, because we can't really see what's happening inside you and inside in terms of the thoughts. But the reason why we do that is to make sure there are not conflicting thoughts. So if there's a thought here and that thought prevents you from doing what you should be doing, then that thought shouldn't be there. And you can't just wish a thought away. You've got to work on the thought so that it actually will be replaced by another thought. So that's why we do the thought life audit. And there are not many people who do the thought life audit, and there are not many people who can actually teach you how to change that, because they don't know how to do that, because they don't even know about their own thoughts and the limiting factor that is in their own life. So we teach you how to do that, and that's one of the things that takes time for you to learn, and that's one of the other reasons why this is not a 5-day or a 6-day program. It takes time for you to learn that new habit. So to unpack it a bit further, there's support in a group, your weekly small group interactive calls, your special small group forum, where you can share your victories and your struggles. Then there's the individual support. I talked about the written report, finding the path, and then the weekly progress and questions. And then, of course, the celebration at the end. We do have a celebration, and we talk about the road ahead, because you have obtained a new body, a body of abundance. You may want to move the body a bit further along this road of a body of abundance. And that's why we want to talk to you about the road ahead, to say, what are you going to do? How are you going to tackle that? So just to show you what the monetary value of all of this is, those consultations, the 6 one-on-one consultations, they normally go at 950 Rand each. So that is a value of 5,700 Rand. The written report, that's a value that we place on there. Your weekly progress, remember this is over 20 weeks. That attracts a value of 2,000 Rand. If you were to do only that, that's what you would pay for that. The critical thing is this, finding the right path and internalizing that, and that's a value of 12,000 Rand. It doesn't matter what you are following, what you're doing in terms of nutrition changes, exercise changes. If you cannot stick with it, you fail. Let me just repeat that. It doesn't matter what you're doing in terms of getting this new body, this abundant body of yours. If you cannot stick with it, you will fail. So we need to find something that is challenging, but that you can stick with. And some of it is a bit easier and some is a bit more tricky, but you need to be able to stick with that. That's what the critical thing is, and that is a value of 12,000 Rand. If you have mastered that, then never, ever, ever, ever in your life again, you'll struggle with managing your weight. Yes, the weight may go up or down, but you'll know how to fix that, how to come back to where you want to be. Your weekly small group interactive calls, that's a value of 6,000 Rand. That's more than 20 weeks that you'll be exposed to that and be immersed in that. Your special small group forum is a value of 2,000 Rand. The total value, if you add all of this together, is almost 30,000 Rand, 29,500 Rand. That's a massive value. And this value, we believe, is exceptionally good value at the moment, and the price of this will go up in future. So the special offer for now is not 29,500 Rand, which is the value. It's not even half of that, which is 15,000, but it is 4,900 Rand. And that's really a steal. That's for nothing for what you get in terms of value. But the reason why we're doing it now is we want to attract fresh stories, new stories, success stories, and stories of abundance. So it's not only about managing your weight, but it's about managing the thought life, dealing with the emotions, those two. Because if you cannot get those in tune and in balance and in the right place, then you struggle as well. So how do you obtain this? How can you get to this? And we limit this to a very small group of people. We have a link that will go live. It's not live yet. We'll let you know. So let us know if you're interested. We'll let you know about the link. It'll be open for a few days that you need to make a decision on this, and then it closes again. So tonight I just want to share about this, to share first of all what we covered earlier, which was the fourth secret. Tomorrow is our last day of our 5 days of the secrets. And we've now covered the following secrets. We've covered fasting. We've then covered feasting or cheating. We've covered fat. We've now tonight covered friends. And I've added 2 extras with friends. I say that you should have fun. Fun with friends is essentially the best. And then you need fitness. And fitness with friends is also fantastic, because that motivates you and truly motivate you and assist you. Tomorrow, the last day, we'll talk about the formulas and the flow. Now, the formulas is about, if you do 1,000 of this and 2,000 of that, it will give you this result. Or if you eat this or that, that's what will happen or could happen. And we will also do flow. Now, flow is when you, it's like when you run. When I start running after 200 or 300 meters, I'm dead. It's like I can't get air. It feels like I can't continue. And then as I run a bit longer, the lungs get in tune with, giving enough oxygen to the legs, and the lungs feel it's okay. The legs, they feel they are okay. And suddenly I get into a space or a flow where I can keep on running for quite a long time. And the same is with exercise. Certain exercise that you do, if it's not too tough on you, in other words, if it doesn't tire the muscles out quickly, then you can do and keep doing that for a long time. So you want to get into this flow so that once I'm not referring now to exercise, but I'm talking about the flow, that you want to be in the flow so that you can stay on that track and stay on the route. Because remember I said that you want to internalize the path, which means you want to get on the path that works for you and you want to stay on that path. And that's when you're in the flow. I've gone on a little bit longer than normal in this video, but this is vital. I wanted to cover and share with you our fantastic 6 months body abundance program, which I'm going to invite you to consider. Remember, the do-it-yourselfers, you shouldn't consider it. You just shouldn't do it. The others who want to move faster and want to make sure, and who would like one person to hold their hand and a group to support them, this is for you. But we'll chat about that soon. My blessings to you today or tonight, whenever you watch this, and let's chat soon. Have a great day. Hansilo, bye-bye.